Hello.
Hey.
Are we live?
We are live
No,
now.
Alex.
I was
No.
expecting the intro music and the jingle.
We don't do that for these. I mean, I need to make an intro and outro for these, but we don't do that.
Oh,
Eventually.
that's boring.
But what are these? It's the 420 Study Session.
They are. This is number 5.
To be clear, we're talking about 420 in the Atlassian certification sense, not 420 in the Colorado sense.
Yes, and I suppose more commonly known now as the JSM, Jira Service Management Project Administrator. I don't know all the names of them now.
If you scroll up a little bit, it's right there for you, sir. You don't have to.
Is it? Okay. Well, I'm
Don't
not
worry.
sharing my screen.
Nope.
Is it not there? There it is.
There, managing Jira Service Projects for Cloud Certification Prep Resources.
That's not a mouthful.
I like the JSM exam better.
Exactly. And so today we have the knowledge base.
This is one of the biggest features of JSM for deflecting tickets, I think.
But 5% of the exam.
I hardly ever use the knowledge base.
I mean, you've got to do a lot of work up front to use it, but if you have it set up properly, I mean, I've been on some partners that had it set up properly, and they've stopped me from having to create a ticket.
I've ended a friendship because of the knowledge base.
Shocker.
Was it with Rodney?
No, so I used to be friends with a TAM, and he's the one that taught me how to use knowledge bases and stuff. And one day I made a post on LinkedIn. I was like, hey guys, if you want to like easy free access to your Confluence without having to buy a Confluence license, this was before guests were really a thing, just set up a knowledge base and come in through your JSN because it's double freeze, right? You can look at your Confluence without getting your license. And my TAM was like, I would never have told you that. I was like, what are you talking about? You're the one that taught me this. That was the last time I ever heard from him.
To be fair, the TAMs are very careful about what information they give me now. There are certain things in, especially Jira Data Center, called black features, which are features that are not documented. They require a special key to activate in Jira. I asked my TAM at one point for a list of these, and they're like, normally maybe, but for you, Rodney, absolutely not.
Serves you right, man.
They'll make an exception.
I mean, my entire plan was to write a post on it, so I can't blame them too terribly much, but I was disappointed.
And we got Sean in the room. Hi, us.
Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Sean and I, T-minus like 4 days, we're going to be hanging out.
We're Disney World or Disneyland?
Disneyland. Well, first we're going to be at LAX at summer camp, and then we're going to Disneyland.
I think you should go to Disney World.
We are planning a trip to Disney World as well.
Or just bookend it. All right, but shall we get into the meat of this?
We should.
I think we shall.
All right. So, Alex, just so you know, we agree.
Shall?
We shall.
Shout.
We shall.
Shall.
Thou shalt.
Right, that's the Big Bang Theory of the did whatever. Proceed. Knowledge base.
All right. So I will cover reading and adding in my color commentary as we go through the top, and then we'll turn it over to Rodney to go through the exam questions for us.
And I'm just here to take a nap.
Perfect.
Nope. The moment you take a nap, I'll start talking about tacos bean sandwiches again.
Exactly.
I only worked at 3 a.m. with sleep deprivation.
So, just in case it is your first time here, keep the hints in mind as you prepare for the exam, because they will cover the essential areas that will guide you as you tackle the questions effectively and will help you navigate the exam with confidence. And once again, I'm going to say 5% of the exam feels unworthy for this, for the power of knowledge bases. But if that's what they decided, that's what they decided.
And we will note we'll be covering all these topics in much greater detail later. This is just meant to be a quick overview. And I think Sarah got muted.
Yep.
I
Come on,
just passed my
Atlassian.
finger over my mic and hit that. Okay, wait. So we said that there's going to be around 65 questions, right?
75.
75. I can never
You need
remember.
a
Okay.
70. You need a 68% or something like that to pass.
We
Okay.
decided 50 questions to pass.
It's a
50
threshold.
correct questions.
So 5% is actually going to be 3 to 4 questions on knowledge base,
That's 3 to
That
4
sounds
too
right.
many.
right? All right, because it's not actually 1 out of every 20, because then there would be 100 questions. That's why
Mhm.
I got out my calculator today. It was bugging me, man. Losing sleep over that. All right, so if you would expand the top one for me for configuring and troubleshooting knowledge base connections and permissions. Okay, so this isn't about like how to use the knowledge base, but configuring it. So know that a space can be linked to multiple projects as long as there is an application link. So you could even have multiple confluences here, multiple spaces across multiple confluences, as long as those two things are connected. You can use more than one. Love that. Know that the permission for who can view knowledge base articles for a space can be set to only Confluence users, all logged in users, or anyone on the internet. And the edit permission can be set to service project users or only Confluence users.
And
So I'm
that
going to
that's
pause on
why
that one because go ahead, Alex.
and that's why we don't use this.
What do you mean why we
And
don't use this?
to be clear, we shouldn't pull in Alex here. Because Alex was telling us about something he did and said on LinkedIn prior to the show.
What did I say?
What about knowledge bases were you using?
The Confluence part?
Where you were saying it's free access to your Confluence?
Wasn't that what this is?
Kind of, but not really.
How?
So because it really is a view only, you can't get in there and edit any of these knowledge bases
Okay, so how many
as a
people that
customer.
and how many people that want to access Confluence for free need to add pages?
I don't know, but I'm just saying. So it's not like it's a full access sort of situation here because you can't comment on them. Honestly, navigating through some of those through the portal is not easy either.
Well,
I
it's
would
definitely
say.
not ideal. But is it
But
ideal enough to save you $10 per person per month?
But no, because now what there's public links. So if you really, there's other ways that you can
to be
expose your
very fair,
Confluence
this
content.
post that I made was 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
So very different.
And I also did mention this was before guests really took off. I would do guests now, or I would do public links.
But to be clear, I still got to give you grief about it.
Yes.
Well, to be super clear, not
Noted.
sponsored, but something we do use is use external share per Confluence
Absolutely.
data. Not sponsored, but that would
Right.
be to me, in my opinion, that's the best route because it's cheaper than buying a Confluence license, but gives you more control than the guest and the public access.
Yes.
That
So
makes
again, not
sense.
sponsored, but Warsaw, if you're looking.
Oh, wait, I
tomorrow-
had one more little line up there still.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Because I just wanted to point out, right, that there is differences between there's permissions you can set for Confluence users or viewers, basically. And then there's permissions you can set for the editors also that are related to your JSM license. And so the last bit there is know that page restrictions can be used to hide an article so that it is only visible to internal Confluence users. So just like you can hide pages and have page restrictions that affect your Confluence users, you can make those same kind of decisions when it comes to your customers and viewing those articles or even the agents. All right. So our next topic will be then to evaluate methods to create, organize, and share knowledge-based content. Know that article suggestions can be turned on and off for different request types. Know that article suggestions for each request type can be limited to only articles that use designated labels. Now I'm going to make fun of Alex here because, again, one of the things he's like, who uses these knowledge bases? You're not a huge fan. And they do, to Rodney's point, take some configurations, right? And when you get them set and when you get them humming along, they are fantastic so that especially when somebody lands directly on that request type, and then they see only the 3 pertinent articles that might help them solve that, as opposed to the 1,000 of articles that might contain little nuggets of information here and there. This is one of the best ways to do that, is via article suggestions, whether they're on and off, and if they're on, to limit them with your labels.
Now, one of the best implementations I've seen of this was actually from our friends over at Resolution. They have JSM set up for bug reports and issues, technical support, and I was setting up a instance to use SSO. It was a data center instance. I'm using their SSO for Jira product because there's some things that it does that we really needed that the built-in module does not do. I was having an issue I could not figure out for the life of me, so I was going to get some help. I put in the correct request type. I start typing in the summary. I get like 3 words in, and there literally is the article for exactly what I need help with.
Beautiful.
Right there.
And that's where you want it, right? You want the information exactly where you need it, not off someplace and think to search for it separately.
But this otherwise would have been a bug for something they've handled, I don't know how many times, that because they were using the knowledge base and had it set up appropriate and had the article for that particular issue, it's now never going to be a ticket.
Yeah. Now this is probably not in the exam because it's like I've only started seeing it recently, is them starting to suggest your knowledge base articles for you based on tickets. It's like, oh, hey, we see this one coming in a lot. Here you go. Let's write that article.
That is something new, but it is something that is incredibly powerful for letting you know where you may have some holes in your knowledge base.
Absolutely.
And there's always holes.
Yes. All right. So the resources.
Hey, only one blue link.
Shall we look at it, considering we have time?
Rodney?
Alex?
Going above and beyond? What?
Well, how many topics do we have tonight? Or is this our last one for this version, like this format?
I think it's supposed to be our only one, but I think we're going to have to adjust next week's episode a little bit.
All right. We can do that.
I say next week, I mean next Wednesdays.
I say wait on this then.
All right. So let's see how bad the sample question is, and then we'll figure out if we need to go up there. All right. So
the answer to the sample question came from the blue link.
What?
Right. So the article suggestions in the Alpha project have labels configured as shown. We've got a little thing here. Which statement is definitely true? And here's the quest form on board, allow suggestions off, only show articles labeled employee. Get help, suggestions on, general, hardware request on hardware, access request on security. So our 4 questions here. Searching the Alpha portal only returns articles with a configured label. Searching the Help Center returns all relevant articles regardless of label. Filling out onboard form shows only articles with the employee label. Filling out the access request shows articles that only have a single label called security.
All right, let's. Can you show the scroll up a little?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
So the Alpha portal only returns articles with a configured label.
No, because the second one doesn't have a label, right? Or doesn't necessarily have to have a label? Is general considered a label?
It could be. I'm going to put A as a maybe as I would be going through this. Because to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how onboard would work with the suggestions off. But this one might be true.
I'm annoyed by this, though, because it says searching the Alpha portal. because to me that indicates like you've gone up to the search bar and not just necessarily typed something in a summary, and the article suggestions are on the summaries.
Mm-hmm. Searching the Help Center returns all relevant articles regardless of label.
I think that's true if you're searching again.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about the form here, right? Suggested articles. Go back up to the top for me.
Now, I just asked which statement is definitely true, not maybe true.
And then they do use different languages between searching and filling out.
Yeah, this is bothering me.
Like filling out to me tells me you're in that request and you're starting to type in the summary.
That's what I read into it by filling out too.
Yeah.
So this one, onboard.
But I feel like that one's fake or won't do it because it's off.
Yeah, C would be off. So C is not.
That one's 100.
Not.
Yeah, that one I'm feeling 100% confident.
Cross it out.
All right. Filling out the access request only shows articles that have a single label, security.
And that one bugs me because it can be multiple labels on a page. So long as it has the security label, it should show.
So I think D is also out because of that, because it's definitely true. If the situation where it's not true, it's canceled out.
Right. Because just to understand, because of it only has a single label security, but this will show you any article that has a label security, even if it has additional labels.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, I would agree that one would be out.
And then I think the top one is out because you don't need a label to when you search the portal.
Yeah, it should just be anything that hits a keyword, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going B.
B is what I was going with too. Alex?
It's the best of all the evils.
I mean, it's best of all evils because it's correct. All right. So searching the Alpha portal only returns articles with configured label is incorrect. Knowledge base is connected, then searching the customer portal always searches all articles in the entire space, regardless of the labels configured for individual request forms. Filling out the onboard form shows only articles with the employee labels incorrect. When the allowed suggestions is off for a particular request form, article suggestions are disabled for that form, even if there are labels listed in the show only articles labeled. So because that was off, this one was incorrect. This one, filling out the access request shows articles that have single label security is incorrect. Matching articles may have labeled listed in the table as well as other labels. It is not necessarily only a single label.
But this one would have been a good tricky one because you would think if you're not reading it correctly or you're in the heat of the test.
Or you're just rushing through the answers without reading them properly.
Or you do like I just did, which is one of the 7 deadly sins of exam taking, as my mind said, oh, they're talking about article labels, so my answer must have to do with article labeling.
Again, read the question very carefully. What are they actually asking for? Question 2. Customers see knowledge-based article suggestions in your help center and in multiple customer portals, but they never see article suggestions when they actually create requests. Which configuration is responsible for the latter?
Well, this one's easy.
Right. Application links between Jira and Confluence. Allow suggestion setting in the project. Page restrictions in Confluence. Space permissions in Confluence. Knowledge-based connections to the projects.
It's B, because that's something we just read has to be turned on.
Yep.
So I'm skipping the rest.
I mean, this is an interesting one because you can start ruling stuff out by the fact that they're able to see something in the help center and in multiple customer portals, which means it can't be the space permissions, it can't be the page restrictions, definitely cannot be the application links. So the application link was broken. Articles would not be suggested at all in the help center. Page restrictions, Confluence. Page restrictions did apply. Articles would not be suggested at all. Corrective space permission hit articles, then it would not be suggested at all. So that's the kind of thing we're looking for with this kind of question.
Friends, we got 100%. Is this our first time?
I don't think it's our first time, but it is our first time getting done almost within the time limit they specified.
Well, because it's 5%. Maybe now we know if it's a 12%, then it's probably going to take the whole hour. But if it's only 5%, it takes almost no time.
So I'm already going to make a liar out of Alex, who graciously set up our sessions this morning. And we're going to move on to what we're supposed to cover on Wednesday. We're going to cover it today, which means he's got some work to change some things.
Or we can just play a recording of this on Wednesday and take the day off.
We can do it.
So I'll start up. This is 7%. So at 7%, we can probably imagine 4 to 5 of the questions are going to talk about reporting. So this is about enhancing custom reports and dashboards. So let's see how we do here. Okay, ready for the first one. Create and optimize JQL queries to filter, sort, and automate ticket management. For this objective, be able to interpret the results of JQL statements. Specifically, be aware of how the less than, greater than, equals, and does not equal impact filter results when used with SLAs. That's a lot in there, JQL and SLAs, but pretty easy if you know both of those topics. Be familiar with the breached, elapsed, ever breached, remaining, and running functions. So we talked about this in a previous episode that JSM does come with some additional, those additional, what do we call those? I should know that. Arguments, additional.
Arguments, I think, is correct.
Okay, arguments in your JQL that you won't find over in Jira because, again, this has to do with those SLAs. So breached, did I go past it? How much time has been already eaten up in my SLA? Because I always talk about the clock that starts. So how far has that gone? Did any of these SLAs ever breach? So did they ever go too long? How much time is remaining? So if my SLA is 4 hours, and I've used 3 hours, then remaining should equal 1 hour. And then is it still just running? But right, it started, it's not stopped, it's not paused. So which of those are running for us as well? We need to be aware of the JQL field used to identify tickets submitted via the customer portal. We need to know that JSM includes special fields for JQL statements, such as entitlements and SLAs. So again, that goes back an episode or two ago. We talked about customers and entitlements, what products maybe or what assets would they be able to use. Yeah, and I just have to go back to the third bullet again. Be aware of the JQL field used to identify tickets submitted via the customer portal. So that being that it's a request type, as opposed to just an issue type, or that the field is submitted like via email, via portal, etc.
I am not sure because my first thought was request type is not empty versus request type is empty, but
submitted via the customer portal is the thing I'm kind of keying off of, because there are ways to determine how those are coming in. I just forgot this specific field, but maybe we'll learn the field as we go.
Yeah,
or be reminded.
I seen the box inside in the agent view where it says submitted from.
Yeah.
But I did not know that it was a searchable field.
Yes, it is, because you can use it in automations, especially like I've used it often in automations. I just can't tell you the exact field name. All right, so we'll move on to design, manage, and enhance custom reports and dashboards. You'll want to be familiar with the contents of the default reports, specifically the satisfaction, requests deflected, and requests resolved reports. Request deflected has to do with, did my knowledge base article solve your problem or not? Be aware that custom reports can be created based on criteria such as specific agent or request type. For custom reports, be familiar with the purpose of each series, specifically created and resolved. Be aware of how filters and dashboards can be used to show tickets from multiple projects. Be familiar with how to use the Service Project Report gadget to show JSM reports and how modifying the underlying report will update what is shown in the gadget. Know that filters must be shared to enable agents to view a dashboard gadget that uses a filter.
And
So, what was that?
I was going to say, to be clear, not only must a filter be shared, and I feel this goes out with saying, but even I sometimes forget this, you also have to share the dashboard.
Yes.
I always see it in reverse. Everybody who shares the dashboard forgets to share the filter.
I've seen it some one way, some the other, and somewhere they just share nothing and still expect people to be able to see.
Right.
People
Although,
even
can
have
I
a Jira
say,
license.
one of my favorite things in cloud, though, is the ability to create the filter and then send it to a dashboard. That delights me. Like, that makes me so happy. And then one of the interesting things above, though, was talking about for custom, be aware of how filters and dashboards can be used to be showed tickets from multiple projects, because that's the only way you get it from multiple projects is via a filter or a dashboard, because you cannot have that in a report. Reports are always going to be project specific. Same case in Jira, just really calling it out here because so many people are always, it's a common question I get, right? Like they want queues to go cross project. They want reports to go cross project. And the answer is nope. Got to do it another way.
All right. So again, one blue link, Alex, this is your call.
You click on the blue link, but there's like 50,000 sublinks.
Right.
I have to see this.
Not on this one.
50,000.
On the previous one, go back to the one we just did.
That's a whole this way ago.
Yeah, we'll go that one.
Knowledge bases. There's a lot you can do there.
Yeah, there's like 1, 2
topics. See, and it's only 5%.
There's a whole bunch in there. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down. It goes.
That's why I'm going to shake my fist that it's only 5%.
You got to read all that, and you're only going to get questioned on 3 things from all that.
Right.
Freaking Atlassian.
'Tis true.
All right, I'm feeling more comfortable about this quiz now since we're going to fail it miserably. Since it's
No,
only
we're
3
not.
Alex
Okay,
may fail it miserably, but that'll be good for him.
So it's a group test, right?
Exactly.
It should be.
Should be.
Exactly. I will probably actually struggle with the JQL one because sometimes my brain just doesn't like those.
I will tell you on the 120, the JQL stuff was the hardest part.
Yeah.
I will tell you that on the 620, the JQL was the hardest part.
Interesting.
I did not get that feeling with either one.
Well, once they start throwing was, then changed, I was like, what the hell? I never use this crap in Jira.
It's not.
Oh, you never
crap,
used change by Arneson or change by current user?
Yeah. No?
Not
Well, then
really.
how are you going to know who to hold accountable?
I'm a perfect team that does not need accountability. They get their stuff done.
I know.
So, Alex, how much SQL did you study before you became a Jira admin?
I hate SQL.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Mhm.
I had a background in
You
SQL
don't need
database
to know
management.
SQL to do JQL though. There's no inner joins.
You don't
outer
need
joins
to.
and-
Let me be clear, Alex, you're absolutely right. You don't need to, but it does help.
It does.
It helps like 1/100th.
Apparently not, because I thought JQL was the easiest part of those exams.
You're not looking up any tables. You're not merging anything. You're not doing any unions. You're not doing any.
Yeah,
primary
you're doing the
keys.
easy part, which is the where statement. That's the easy part.
That's true.
Yeah, but within the where, they expanded an entire domain knowledge of JQL. They took the
Well, we're
basics.
supposed to have a quiz, but we've got a
I
spinning
know.
circle.
Why is it not loading?
It's because it's a computer. He had a Mac.
All right. No, we're not going there.
We
Read the
already
question, Rodney.
had that argument this weekend, Alex. We don't need to bring it up on air.
Don't feed him.
But it's so fun to watch him cringe.
Because you know I'm right.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
You reviewed the default report time to resolution in your project, which was created from the ITSM project template.
Ouch.
You want to create an identical report, except that it should show a custom SLA time to triage that exists in your project. What report series should be used? Created, time to triage average, time to triage breached, time to triage met, or time to triage percent met?
The hell is this?
So when you create your ITSM project from that template, it does give you those reports. It's one of the basic reports that comes in it. So you want to copy that report. And instead of time to resolution, you're going to use time to triage.
But which one?
I mean, these are only going to give you a subset.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the second one, if I had to pick one.
And I guess this means like you are supposed to know what that time to resolution default report is.
Yep.
Because I want to say met.
That would be my second option.
But I still feel that only returns a subset, whereas time to resolution, I feel, does it across all either breached or met SLAs.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying average, but I'm not 100% sure of that. It's been a minute since I looked at those reports.
I didn't even know there were reports in there. Just kidding.
I'm down.
I just never look at reports.
All right.
All right.
But we all agree created was wrong, right?
Yeah, we all knew created was wrong. It's not even showing you the correct thing. So total red herring. It was the easiest.
Yes.
Thank you, Sean. Okay, time to triage breach is incorrect because it only shows how many issues have breached their time approval. Time to met, again, shows you how many issues have met their time to approve. Percentage only gives you a percentage. This one's the only one that's giving you an actual time, which I think is why I was trying to communicate and doing a really poor job of it.
No, I got you. I totally, I heard what you were saying, and I agreed with your reasoning.
All right. Question 2. You need a queue to identify requests that have not reached their time to approve SLA goal of 60 minutes, where the time to approve SLA is not paused. Identify the correct JQL query for the queue.
Ooh, make Alex do this one.
I was just about to say exactly that. Okay,
right.
So these are 2 conditions we're looking for. Alex, take it away.
I don't think it's the first one. I don't think it's the fourth one. I feel like you need to have that 60 minutes in there somehow.
No, the 60 minutes is already built into SLA.
So you're looking, have not breached their time to approve goal. Oh, sorry, I totally did not read that. So the time to approve was 60 LA. So you're looking has not been breached.
Yep.
So time to approve. So I'm going to go middle 3 so far.
All right. That's good.
Well, middle 3, but if you take this, middle 3 just because the time to approve has not been breached. That should answer that first part.
Mm-hmm.
And time to approve is not paused.
If the timer is not paused, it is said to be.
I'm paused.
I'm thinking it's number
I'm
2.
not
then.
paused. I'm
Yep.
paused. I'm not paused.
So the way I read this, first thing I notice, there's 2 clauses or 2 statements here. So there's going to be at least 2 clauses, which did not help me at all. Then I started looking for the keywords. Have not breached. I'm looking for not equal breached. Is not paused. I'm looking for running. That gives me instantly to that one.
Yep.
And I'll fall victim of the 60.
It was a red herring.
Yes. A distractor.
Like Sarah.
Sean has a special message just for Alex. And Sean, for your DevOps podcast, next episode, I want you to hammer this home. Please.
Sean has a hatred towards Apple because of some event that happened in the 70s or 80s.
Was it
Sounds
not
fair.
buying stock?
I mean, I'm upset I didn't buy stock before the iPod came out.
Right?
And like,
Granted, I was in middle school, but still.
It's not fair.
Should have known.
I say,
Alright.
it's not that I hate Macs. For some people,
You just never use a
Absolutely
part
great.
for your computer. It's okay. That's not a problem.
I like to be able to service my computer. I don't want to have to get a whole new computer because the power supply decided to go on the fritz.
Well, you could just marry a guy or a person who, is a
But
Mac
Ronnie,
technician.
the problem with your statement is your power supply needed to have gone on the fritz.
And I'm sorry, Alex. I hate to be the one to tell you this. Lightning could fry a Mac too.
Yes.
I live in a region where there is no lightning, so I'm okay.
Great for you.
Let's do automations while we have time. Because that's also only a 15-minute thing.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. Well,
11% though. Oh no. That's a lot. But automations
But we
are
only
so
got-
fun.
We got 3 sections here.
That's about
And-
8 to 9 questions are on automations. Oh, those are big. I need a split screen. How many
Should we
questions
start-
are there?
Only 3.
Okay, we can totally do this. It's automation. It's not significantly
yeah,
different.
we do automations any day over JQL.
All right. So
Fair.
recommend
I'll
automation.
give you that one, Alex.
We're going to recommend automation rules to meet business requirements. So you need to know that automation for project configuration is generally not possible. You want to be familiar with how an if-else condition can be used to meet business needs. Be familiar with using SLAs and automations. All right, configuring our automation rules. We want to be able to analyze an automation rule and identify what it does. Know that smart values can be used to set dynamic values. And they've done so much wonderful work with smart values, and it makes me so happy. In cloud, that is. So that you can use those to set those dynamic values.
Yep.
When troubleshooting, be sure to check that the right automation component is being used. For instance, a condition versus an action. Be familiar with using automation to update an asset object field when the rule is triggered. Be familiar with configuring automation rules that are triggered by a specific service tier. Know that notifications can be tailored to more specific use cases than the notification scheme using automation. So you can do more with your notifications is what they're saying. And again, yay, finally you can format emails that go out in a very easy way. All right. Know that the automation related to inactivity can usually be run on a schedule.
Inactivity.
Thank you.
So basically, This last one means you can set it up so we're like at 8 a.m. every day. It's sending a ticket out to all the people who have, or not ticket, it sends an email out to all the people who have a ticket they have not responded to within some factor you decide, saying, hey, respond, update, or we're closing this. Likewise, if they still haven't responded by some longer time, you can close the ticket.
Yeah, so you don't have to constantly ping them. Hey, did you do something? Did you do something? Did you do something?
Yep.
All right. Analyze and troubleshoot automation rules.
Sean is catching up. It was the 1980s.
Know that allowing actions to trigger other rules could result in a high number of rule executions. And I'm going to say the opposite. Know that when you forget to allow a rule to trigger another rule, you're going to wonder what the hell you did wrong for way too long. But I digress. Be familiar with the issue fields and resolution is unresolved conditions. Be aware that for an automation rule, references to statuses and transitions will result in an error if they don't exist within the request's workflow. Those are when you get, I think, deep into your very specific workflows.
And usually what happens is not that you set up the rule wrong and it references something that did not exist. What usually happens here is the workflow changed and no one went back to update the rule.
Yes. Because there's no way to find that out.
Until something starts failing.
No, because they've added the validations, but validations are not yet. And I'm going to say yet, because I think they'll do it. They're not that yet robust enough to go out and show you something like that. I think they're going to get there, though. So yeah, if you know Jira automation, you're going to be in really good shape for this already. There's just some additional functionality, just like with JQL, you get additional functionality, additional components, additional actions related to those things, even the triggers. Like if it's something that you can do in JSM, you get to use the automations for it.
All right, so we got 3 questions. We've got 18 minutes. What do you think, Sarah?
We can do it. I just need
because these are automations, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. In chat, if you're having trouble seeing, shout out, let me know. I'll readjust it a little bigger again. So, analyze the single project automation rule. When would the rule error out? Again, the thing I'm looking for as far as keywords is single project. They went out of their way to tell you that. So I would be surprised if it does not play a role somehow. So here's the rule. When a value changes for assignee, so an issue is reassigned, then add a comment to the issue puller, and then create one subtask.
Ooh. Okay, yep. They had the answer I was expecting, or the correct answer is the one I was expecting it to be. Okay.
So when the rule actor does not have assigned issues permission, when the user who triggered the event does not have assignable user permission, when the trigger issue is already a subtask.
No, you read that actually.
Oh, already has a subtask.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you. When the trigger issue is a subtask. I'll get there eventually. It's just the next one.
Nope. I screwed that up earlier too. So okay, so the first two, quite frankly, oh, I see now, because the trigger is about the
what's the question?
Which rule? When would this rule right here generate an error?
For an error. Okay.
So a shortcut on this, right, is really just the fact that what do we know about subtasks?
They can't have subtasks themselves.
Yeah. So this one's easy because you can sort of jump to that.
Yep. If we did want to go through it one at a time, just to be safe, I can rule the first one out because the issue is already reassigned. That was checked before the rule ever triggered, so it would not come into effect. when the user who triggered the event does not have assignable user permission, well, we're not assigning the issue in the thing. So
Yeah, we've been
it's not gonna-
triggered.
Yep.
Okay, when the trigger already has subtasks, well, an issue, in
Can have-
theory, can have as many subtasks as you could
When are we
sit there
gonna
and tolerate.
When are we gonna do our How to Break Jira series?
I don't know, Alex. When are we?
I don't know. How many
I'm not
subtasks can
showing
you
up
add
for
to a
that one.
Is
story?
that also question? Is that a TGL thing or a ApeTech thing?
I don't know. I mean, it's a live stream that's gonna be hours and hours and hours and hours long. Us trying to break Jira.
But for the moment, in theory, and as you could have as many subtasks as you could tolerate creating
Until we prove it wrong.
until we prove it wrong. The only thing here that would cause this rule to error out is if you're on a subtask and you're trying to create another subtask.
True story.
So this one,
Correct.
and I'd go through all these again, but it's literally saying the same thing we've already just said.
It would be.
All right. You must configure an automation rule. Whenever a ticket is created from the portal, link all existing tickets created by the same customer to the new request. The trigger is issue created. What other automation component is needed? Condition using the JQL reporter is reporter in members of customers, so they're part of the customers group. Branch rule, related issues using JQL reporter equal issue reporter. Number 3, action to link issue to the current issue. Number 4, branch rule, related issues on the current issue.
That's the one that's attracting my attention.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's the one I could rule out anyway, because we're trying to link issues. We're not trying to branch on the issues that are already linked because we're trying to generate the links.
Yeah, because it doesn't have when the ticket is created, it doesn't yet have any links at all. So it can't go find more links. Is that what we're saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So then our action to link issues to the current issue is weird because the trigger issue is the current issue. So.
Oh, I read the question again. I'm leaning now more towards A.
I'm going to say B.
I'm going to say B as well. Because in this case, the branch rule is based on a JQL, not on a related issues. So it can already be related to it via that JQL because you want to go find what are all the other things this person reported. Correct.
All right, so we're going to review this one because Alex did think it was A. The conditions need to be if issue matches JQL request channel type equal portal.
There's that channel, the one we were talking about before, friends. Request channel type is that special field.
We don't know if the site is using Atlassian accounts or portal only accounts, or if there is a group called customers. But even if we did, customers could create tickets via an email channel too. Here we need to only action on tickets created from the portal. So what this branch rule here does for anyone needed, first it finds a smart value for the current issues reporter and puts it into the JQL. So reporter equal whoever the issue reporter is, it's going to find all other issues created by the same user. And then the branch means it's going to iterate on all those issues, whatever actions you tell it to run.
Hey, can we sidebar for just 10 seconds on that though?
Yeah.
10 minutes.
As a personal branch rule versus a lookup issues. In this case, would it have the same effect to look up issues? Or maybe because you're limited to 100, the branch rule would get if there was, 1,000 reported by the same person.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I always treat the branch rule almost kind of like a for loop.
That's what I've always thought of it as.
Yeah, definitely. I would too.
But a lookup issues is definitely like a for loop too.
But I guess but actually no, because on lookup issues, then you would just naturally have to next do a branch to attach all of those. So nope, that's the shorter path. Yay. Okay, good. Just to branch automatically based on the AQL is better than the lookup issues.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the chat as well.
Oh.
I mean,
Come to the Atlassian Summit and we'll spend a night. Instead of playing Smash Brothers, we'll try to break Jira.
I would like to note that Alex is ready for a nap. Meanwhile, it's 3 hours later for me than it is for him.
I know, it's kind of funny.
But I woke up 3 hours before you, so.
Did you, though?
Oh,
or did you wake up at the exact same time because time zones?
I woke up 3 hours earlier than you.
Are you sure you woke up at 3 a.m.?
Yes.
Because just for time zone, I woke up at 3 a.m. Pacific.
But you didn't.
But I did.
But you did not.
He does every day, probably.
6 a.m. when my alarm goes off so I can get ready to go exercise so I could die of not heart issues.
This is why Alex doesn't like JQL, because, before time greater than time after then.
Are we going to exercise in Barcelona? Is that like a thing?
If I can find a way to do it, yes. And I'll drag you with me.
Are we going to run to the McDonald's?
I mean, if that motivates you.
Run to get ham. Dangle that ham out there that you guys want.
Is it that good, that ham? I never had Spanish ham.
Actually, it is, but that's neither here nor there. If it makes you feel better to run to the McDonald's, we'll run to the McDonald's.
We should run to the closest Apple store.
Oh my God, you're killing me. You cannot run to the Apple store or the McDonald's. You're in freaking Spain. Run somewhere that you can't run elsewhere. Okay, go to question 3.
All right.
You're so hard.
I mean, I'm trying to fill another 7 minutes here, so. Your project uses assets to monitor hardware items. Whenever incident goes to in progress status, the connected object status should be updated. What must be configured to meet this requirement? Alex, see what you're typing there.
Sorry, I got distracted. These Apple stores in Barcelona are beautiful architecture buildings.
All right. So what must be configured? Automation rule, workflow rule, incident management features, or change management features?
It seems too obvious, so I'm worried I'm not reading it right.
So whenever incident goes to in progress status, connected object status should be updated. So I think the real question here for me, because I'm ruling out the last two when I could be dead wrong with that, is can you affect the status of an asset from an automation rule?
Yes.
Can you affect the status of an asset from a post function in a workflow?
I'm not aware of that capability. I'm going to go with no.
So my vote given then would be automation rule, because that's what I was thinking too.
Right. But also, so here's one of the fun bits about all of this. We know we're in the automation section of the questions.
And that's why I'm pausing here, because it seems a little too obvious.
That was my point too. I was like,
And the thing that also gives me pause is when I'm looking at what to use for a given automated task, when I start seeing when something goes into a status, my mind immediately starts thinking, can I do that with a post function?
Yep.
Because that will save you on executions on your automation for Jira.
That's true. But in this case, the status we're talking about is the status of a Well, yeah, we do have a workflow status in there, but to my knowledge, we cannot affect assets from
a post
workflows.
function. And incident management features, change management features, I think, are just, they needed 2 more answers.
Well, you can connect your assets to both of those.
You can, but they won't affect automation.
No. But if you're unfamiliar with what incident management features and change management features are, so if you're not really ready for the exam, you could answer those.
But the real question is, what iPhone is Alex bringing to Barcelona?
Oh, definitely the 17 because the event's on the 3rd.
I'm sorry, but I need something to get Alex's attention back onto the stream.
Well, I'm looking at Google Maps and I totally lost where the FIRA is going to be at, and I know I see the Basilica, but I'm like, well, can I walk to the Apple store? Totally lost.
I mean, you can walk anywhere. You give yourself enough time to go. To be fair, I did not use an Uber or taxi or anything
Okay,
too
I
much
found
when
it.
I was in Barcelona. I was walking or subway a lot of it, and that was with a heart condition bad enough that I had a surgery for it some 4 months later.
Exactly.
All right, I found
All right.
it. I got it. It's
Woo!
5 kilometers.
We are 300%. Man, you got a badge.
I
And
need a badge because I need to start working on my renewals for my certs.
You know, somebody posted something mildly controversial about that on LinkedIn.
mildly? Enlighten us. We got 3 minutes.
Just saying that from his perspective, just retaking the tests was more cost effective than going through the renewals. And I just remembered another counter argument to that. Because if you have 4 certs, that would be $1,000 to retake all of those exams. Whereas most of what you do to maintain them counts towards
them all. Yeah, it applies to all of them. So yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
And all the actions you need to do to renew them are free.
Yeah. But that the hour you would spend taking a free Atlassian University would like cost you because it costs an hour of your time.
Yeah, but this guy's got to be earning like $250 an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So bully for him if he is.
So going in workflow post functions in the new workflow editor referred to as rules. We do not like the new workflow editor around here, around these parts.
So hard.
We do not like the new workflow editor at all. By the way, it's an hour and 15-minute walk.
Does that include subway?
No, just walk.
To where?
He wants to go to the Apple Store from FIRA Barcelona.
Well, he can walk.
Yeah, it's an hour and 15 minutes.
See?
19 minutes on a bicycle and 24 minutes using public transit.
Sounds like you need to use some public transit.
And there is a subway?
There is subways.
It's not
Anyways,
the US.
as I was saying, aside from the new workflow editor hate, are designed to perform additional processing after a transition has been executed. While post functions for updating linked object attributes are available in the server and are included in Data Center, they are not offered in the cloud version. So this one, if you're like me and certified in a multiple here, you need to keep that in mind. It's not a cloud feature. It's something that Data Center actually has an advantage over.
For now.
For now. I don't know. I would like it to be a post function because, again, it doesn't count towards your automations. Well, everyone, I think we're losing steam here. I think we have completely lost Alex, and Sarah is taking a call.
We're taking a bus.
All right. And also, Mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
Ask her if she wants anything from the Apple Store in Spain.
No, she won't. But I
want
did
ham.
see the Apple Store in Chicago that was
That
like
was a
super
cool
hyper
one. That one kills
designed.
people.
Yeah.
Have you heard it kills people?
No, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it kills people because of the shape. It's the lid of the MacBook, right?
Yes.
But the
Not
icicles-
intentionally, apparently.
yeah, but the icicles they form so well, they pull off people down below.
That's bad.
Anyways,
Right, so then what are you
everyone.
doing Wednesday, if I'm here, because I might not be. What's everybody else doing Wednesday?
Well, what we may be doing with or without you is we'll be starting with set up Jira Service projects to enable your team. This says it's supposed to be a 2-hour course. We'll probably stretch it out to about 5 hours.
As one does.
I hope not.
Wait, I need to update all the English. Which course are we taking?
Explore Service Project Administration. And people, this is where we're going to be getting, we've been kind of keeping it high level overview for now. And I know it's been super frustrating for Alex. It's been
I have not
frustrating
known
for me. We're going to start getting to the nitty gritty. I think that's where Alex is finally going to start getting engaged a little bit.
I don't see this thing yet.
Yes, Sean, Apple kills people. If you need any reference, watch the movie Snow White.
Oh, this is where I thought we were gonna start off last time.
But everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. We will be back with this on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And don't forget to catch out our show this week on Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, where Alex, if we get him engaged, will be debating Brian on one of his favorite topics to talk about, and that's that Jira is killing Agile.
Should we get a scooter to walk around?
No. And
No.
if you are watching this much, much, much later, the show we're talking about is the one that is going to be Thursday, August 21st.
Correct. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
But definitely check that out, and we will catch you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.